Oh, there's no doubt about it. Mrs. Boladeris was a real wag. Oh, I worked for her for a couple of years. Sure, she was Italian. Oh, I suppose she would have been a good 10 years older than me. She had a boyfriend, a Slav bloke, Andy Jurovich. Well, one day, Andy Jurovich gave Mrs. Boladeris a diamond ring. When her husband Mario got wind of it, she threw the diamond ring in the lavatory pan. I said to her, "You should have given it to me." Oh. One day we were standing in the kitchen, you know, making gnocchi, and Mrs. Boladeris, she says to me, "Sergio, is it good?" "What?" "You know, Sergio, is it good?" "Good at what?" "You know. In the bed." "What?" "The sex." "Oh, that. Oh, I don't know. I suppose he's all right." "What about your Andy?" Well, did her face light up. "Oh, Santa Maria! Oh, alleluia, no Maria. Come si dice in inglese? How will you say in English? In the bed? Oh, he is at the bomb! Oh, right." I was none the wiser. It wasn't until years later that I found out what she meant. Well, the bloke who used to read the light meter at Agnew, Jack Scott, he come from Wild Catcham, he was very nice looking. We was the same age. He asked me to go with him a few times, so I did. He used to like me to dance around in front of him while I was taking all my clothes off. I seen Jack Scott, it must have been 50 years later. Well, he was working in the electrical shop in Hannon Street in Kalgoorlie. Oh, he put on a terrible lot of weight, though. Oh, he didn't recognise me. No. But I certainly remembered him. Well, he was the only bloke who ever put any life into me in bed. No, I never met Mrs. Boladeris' boyfriend, Andy Jurovich, but I used to see him driving around the town in his truck. My sister Ollie, she lived in Walloona. And out in the middle of the flat, you know, halfway between Ollie's place and the boarding house, was the town water tank. It was up in the air on one of them big wooden stands. What Mrs. Boladeris didn't know was that I used to go there with her husband, Mario. Well, look, I figured she had a boyfriend, so why shouldn't he have a girlfriend? Oh, what was it? How many boarders? Oh, I can't remember. Oh, it was quite a few. I used to have to make their beds and clean and help with the cooking. Oh, and at night, after the men had finished their tea, I had to set the table for breakfast the following morning. Oh, Mario and Mrs. Boladeris, they had their bedroom right next door to the dining room. Now, I'm buggered if I know why, but Mrs. Boladeris, she used to watch me setting the tables through this little peephole she made in the dining room wall. You know, to this day, I still cannot work out what the bloody hell she thought I was going to get up to on the tables in the dining room. Oh, no, they was a really decent bunch of mostly Slav and Italian blokes. Oh, and there was Costa. He was a short, stout Greek. He was always suspicious about me and Sergio, you know, snooping round my bedroom window, you know, trying to see what was going on inside. Well, not that it stopped him, but I used to chase him all the time. You know, "Oh, on your way, Costa! You are a peeping Tom!" Costa had a truck, and he used to drive round the town selling eggs and ice creams. Oh, in them days, ice cream used to come in 10-gallon tin churns. Oh, I used to get Sergio to talk to Costa around the front of the truck while I snuck round the back and helped myself. Actually, Costa got himself into some terrible strife one day when a lady asked him if he had any fresh eggs. "Yes, lady, yeah. I've got 2. And they've been fresh for 30 years. She was most offended. Oh, she reported him to the police and they took him to court and he was charged and everything. I don't know what happened to Costa. One day he just up and left and Never seen him again. Tra-la-la, twiddly-dee-dee, there's peace and goodwill. You're welcome as the flowers on Mockingbird Hill. Tra-la-la, twiddly-dee-dee, it gives me a thrill. You know, I've been reading The Phantom for 50 years. I just don't reckon that the pictures are as good these days. To wake up in the morning to the mockingbirds trill. You know, in me mind's eye, I can still see that tent. Sergio set it up on the flat, you know, not far from Mrs. Bollideris's boarding house. It was big enough for a double bed and some furniture. One night, Sergio was on the afternoon shift. I was there on my own. And the local head copper, he come round to see me. He was a tall, solid sort of bloke. Quite nice looking. He wanted me to go with him while Sergio was at work. No, I said, nothing doing. On your way, I'm not interested. Well, to begin with, he wouldn't take no for an answer. Oh, come on. What's wrong with you? You've gone with lots of other blokes. Oh, have I just? Yeah. And they all say you love it. Oh, do they just? Yeah. And everyone knows about you and Mario Bollideris, Peter Conlon, Richie, Sam Prodomovich, you know. You're not married to Sergio, you know, so what difference is one more bloke going to make, eh? I'll tell you what the difference is. I wouldn't go with you if you was the last bloke on earth. Well, then he sort of turns nasty. He tries to force me. Hey, cut that out! I stood me ground. When he realised I was dinkum, he went. And he never bothered me again. And if there's going to be a life hereafter, and somehow I'm sure there's going to be, I shall ask my God to let me make my heaven in that dear land across the Irish Sea. I used to dry clean trousers by hand for 2 and 6 a pair. One day, Sergio's cousin, Richie, who used to live with us, he was sitting at the kitchen table watching me. Well, in them days, I used to use a petrol iron. Well, the flame on me petrol iron went out and I struck a match to relight it. Now, I don't know what made me do it, but Sergio was very proud of his mop of dark curly hair. Do you think your hair would burn? And of course, you know, whoosh! I didn't know, did I? Well, thank God there was a big dish of water on the table and I just tipped it over his head. You know, Sergio was very shitty. He wouldn't talk to me for a fortnight. They was good times in Walloona. Well, I was there for 7 years. I had a best friend, Katie Bindi. She come from Pinjarra in the southwest. She was married to an Italian bloke, Lorenzo. Oh, God, could he talk the leg of a cast iron pot? Me and Katie used to stand behind him and pretend to wind him up. Lorenzo didn't know, but me and Katie had a boyfriend, Peter. We used to share him. He was a couple of years older than us, about 24 or something. Quite nice looking, not very tall, and he had a motorbike. Well, he liked me and he liked Katie, so we worked out this scheme. If Lorenzo was home, he'd go with me, and if Sergio was home, he'd go with Katie.